Hi, welcome on our exhibition ground. Happy having you here. May I introduce myself? I'm Elmar. I'm responsible for technical services and training, and I'm happy having you here. And if you allow, and you give me the space, so I'd like to introduce the company and giving you some insights to our KNX product range. Hopefully, you will enjoy the next couple of minutes. So, aren't Theben the people coming from the time switch manufacturing? Yes, we are. But meanwhile, there happened a lot since 1921. So you discover we are heading 100 years of anniversary, and we are proud to be a part of the Theben family. We, the people here on our exhibition ground, the people in the factory, which are here on the background, if you discover. This is a factory made in Germany, so we are producing in Germany. In total, we are really happy to be family of Mr. Schwenk. So Mr. Schwenk was the founder, approximately, meanwhile, 100 years exactly ago. And he was really a forward-looking person. And he was aware about the energy wasting. And he did a lot at the early beginning of the 19th century, even when sustainability was not under discussion, even not exist finally. Meanwhile, 100 years later, so you discover, so there is a lot. It's not just time switches, not just staircase timers and so on. You discover here smart meter energy. So we are really happy. We got the certification from the BSI, from the Ministry of Security and IT Technology. We got the approval. And so I'm really happy. It's a really forward-looking system, smart meter gateway, with a high security protection in the background, high encrypted technology, and in the communication. We are having detection and lighting. Detection and lighting means presence, motion sensors, twilight sensors, however. Presence sensors in terms of one of our daughter company, located in Switzerland, was the founder finally of presence detectors, so we have a lot of experience, I have to say. And you discover here KNX, when it gets started in 1919. So it means it was EIB, European Installation Bus System. Meanwhile, KNX. And we are proudly member of KNX. And we are manufacturing, developing, and producing for us and for some partners since 1992. So that means there is a lot of experience indoor in the Theben company. And sure, you discover here as well controls. Controls means time switches. Staircase timers, so standards, time switches, weekly, daily, yearly time switches. Meanwhile, controllers with a time program which you can address by LAN communication. So our TC, so high security protection and high security communication finally. You can address on distance in every, let's say, grid, in every network which you address and which you implement this controller finally. And HVAC means heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, so which covers the part of fan collectors, which covers the part of temperature controllers, room temperature controllers, and as well, highly interesting currently nowadays, CO2 sensors for ventilation, airing, or dehumidifying due to the current situation. A highly interesting sensor which is in our product range. So you see, you discover it's more than just a time switch manufacturer, Theben. Starting with just 2 people in Stuttgart, in the south of Germany. Meanwhile, we are approximately 750 people all around the world. And you discover definitively here the green countries, and the green countries, they are finally the countries which are our own subsidiaries, and some more will follow, I'm pretty sure. And in all the other countries, we have partners which are representing us, our products, and working, dealing in a partnership together with us. So, you know, Theben is around the world, everywhere. Yeah, and back coming finally to sustainability, to, let's say, energy saving aspects and so on. So there are a lot of demands. So just consider when we talk about LEED, leading engineering and designing. So the precondition for highly, let's say, sophisticated and for highly energy saving orientated buildings all around the world. What they are needing? They needed finally sensors, controllers, actuators communicating together, or the European norm 15232, for instance, which has exactly the same approach, GBI, Green Building Index, down in Asia, for instance, and further on. So there are, let's say, groups of interest. There are normative regulations giving you, let's say, the targets to design, to produce, to manufacture finally things in order to make such buildings like this factory or big towers, however, energy efficient. And Theben has solutions finally. Starting from the light control here on top, climate control and ventilation, smart building, so that means KNX or smart home solution, for instance, and as well this, let's say, revolution in terms of smart meter gateway, it's a part of that. And as well, we support the OEM. So that means if some partners, some companies are knocking on our door, asking for our, let's say, competence, for our abilities in manufacturing, made in Germany or developing in Germany, however. So we are open to give the reasonable support, and we do it since many, many years. Our aim finally to support the international support, the efficiency finally, we support as well the digitalization finally, and we got finally, currently we are really proud about that, award, Top Innovator 2020. We are really happy to inform, brand new, just a couple of days back. And as well, we got, surprisingly, and we are really happy as well, we got a design award as well for one of our sensors, brand new sensors in the sensor market. So that means it's not just the power of the technology, as well in terms of designing and so on. I think we have the reasonable feeling, and the designers in the background doing a pretty good work, giving you really, let's say, hand-charming products. As well, Theben is partner of these associations like DOLI, like DGBI, then EBAS, then KNX as well, our main term of today, however. So we are linked to all of these associations. We are partners of these associations. Give me the chance to give you a short overview. What is our aim? What is our power, finally, in the KNX product range? You discover some of these products here. So presence sensors, RTRs, room temperature controllers, push-button interfaces, brightness sensors, dolly gateways, CO2 sensors, and so on, and further on. So we have a really wide range of products. And allow me to give you a short insight from the start, from the beginning, in 1994, 95, however. So this one here was one of our products at that time. And probably you remember at that time, it was fashion, and it was the only way to communicate. You had a separate bus coupling unit, which was mostly put aside, left or right hand side, however, to communicate, to make such kind of components intelligent. You know, this bus coupling unit here exactly, so it was quite expensive, took space, and we have really developed, and we got the reasonable chip finally from a really competent company, and we built this chip inside of our actuators. So exactly here in this, let's say, actuator, in this master unit, Here is meanwhile, this was in 1996 and 97. So we put here the bus coupling unit inside. But you know, price. Price is always under discussion. And such a bus coupling unit is expensive at that time, definitively. And so we had the approach, the idea, so let's use the principle master and slave. So in order to bring the costs for the channels of the actuators down. And this we could achieve with this master unit here. Here, bus coupling unit. You discover here the interface. Yeah. Here is the slave, finally. The slave itself was not equipped at that time with the BCU, so it just was sharing informations and receiving informations throughout this interface here in the front. In total, you could assign to one master 2 slaves, and we could bring down really essentially and efficiently the costs per channel at that time. Nobody else at that time could offer such kind of solution. Meanwhile, we have developed further on, and currently we have the most modern mixable actuator series in the KNX market. So that means we have here exactly the same principle. We have here the master unit, we have here the slave and another slave. And you discover here probably that it's an 8-fold switching actuator. The next one here is a 2-fold LED dimmer, which is able per channel to dim 400 watt of LED. And further on, we have here, for instance, linked shutters and blinds actuator. So really a room-orientated solution, highly flexible, finally, at itself. And what you discover as well, probably, so you discover here, exactly at that point here, you discover here the BCU. And the BCU you can take out. So what, for which purpose? So just in the unlikely event that exactly this actuator here is destroyed, for instance, by short circuit or whatever, and has to be replaced. You take the BCU out, put it aside, replace just the hardware, take the BCU, put it in, back again, lock it, done. Because in the BCU, there are the group addresses, the application settings, that's it. So really forward-looking, forward-orientated development, which we did in the last couple of years. And as well, in terms of the amount of appliances which you are allowed to use in a line, you know, one line, 64 appliances, because each appliance, 10 milliamps. But the solution here, exactly this one here, master, slave, slave, is just discovered as one part, one piece of the bus. So in total, you have 3 actuators, 3 different actuators, but just one appliance, one member in this bus line. So theoretically, you can put 3 times more actuators in one bus line. Really forward-looking, isn't it? When it comes to the LED dimming, probably you discovered, you make probably your own discovery and experience, however, you probably discovered there are some challenges, and these challenges have been confirmed in our VDE laboratory. This is our doctor caring about all the security aspects, the normative regulations, and so on, the testing laboratory. He is responsible, he cares about the quality and about the normative regulations in our products, finally. And he discovered, or our laboratory discovered, even in early times, that the inside of these LEDs here, these electronic here, there are some challenges. And you discover here easily, I think, there are capacitors, a lot of, and probably you can imagine what is the effect, the essence, if a capacitor is empty. So it's charging in the first initial setup and creating a lot of inrushes. He consumes a lot of energy, and these were the result of inrushes. We know that. Okay, and the reason finally is that we decided to put in our actuators and in all of our appliances, nevertheless, if we talk about KNX, if we talk about our controllers, however, we put special technology inside exactly to avoid that damages finally comes or has the results finally at the earlier life end of a product. Have a look here on this nice, really nice shining and a really nice dimmable LED light. Theoretically, you see almost 0.3 amps. And what do you estimate? Share this. Probably you know, probably not. But I think it's amazing what you see here. The discovery in our laboratory was finally in the first initial setup. Such kind of light consumes almost 6 amps. And this is stress. Stress for a relay, stress for each dimmer, finally. This I want to share with you. And we care about that. Again, with technology which we put inside, which with technology and with software adaptations, exactly to avoid that our products has an early life end. Even this one, this small GU10 LED light, consumes almost 2.5 amps. And this is just a 5-watt LED light. These kind of lights, assuming you know, 60 by 60 centimeters, and they are meanwhile fashion and usual used in, let's say, offices, public buildings, and so on. And this metering, this measuring, was not done by us. And I'm really happy, I have to say, to have another, let's say, confirmation from another company, finally, or institute in this case, confirming that our approaches, our investigations and the results, that they confirm. This kind of lights, which you discover here, approximately 20 watts with an internal driver, so 7 amps in the first initial setup. Amazing. If it comes to an external driver, so always related to the manufacturer, finally, so which kind of manufacturer it is, what kind of electronic inside, you discover here, or approximately 30 amps of current and further on. And this has to be managed by strong, powerful relays. And this discovery was done by the University of Eindhoven. So I think it's really good to know that they confirm exactly these things, what happened. I do not want to blame all the LED light manufacturer. This electronic is required. But I think it is a must to share these discoveries with you, to care about a good quality of LED lights, sure, that you have a good result, result of lights, switched light or dimmed light finally, but the electronic is required, but take care about the hardware which you need to drive, to dim, especially LED lights. And inrush during dimming, what do you expect? You discover here as well, so there is an effect, there is an impact. Finally, from the dimming, you discover here these inrushes here and here. So, and this has a certain negative impact as well, so can end up finally in a flickering or in a not really comfortable dimming result. Some figures you discover here on my chart. So all our relays are equipped, all the relays equipped in our products support you with 800 amps of inrush rating. And I think this is a power of energy which you can switch, which you can control directly with our actuators. Added with, let's say, added value, what you discover here in the background. So we have here a really powerful application as well. So you see all the required application settings you can choose. It's up to you. And the good, let's say, commitment is finally, the good communication to you is finally that these applications you find in all of our actuators. So you know one actuator, you know almost all actuators. And this is our big daddy. So the big actuators, big in terms of not size-wise, but big in terms of power. Here we are talking about 25 amps each channel. Nevertheless, if we talk about the 4-channel actuator, or if we talk about the 8-channel actuator, each channel 25 amps. And it's a benchmark. Hopefully you feel comfortable. Theben, what we are doing, if you do it right, and we care about, and the application and as well the power, the hardware in our products are really future-orientated and really reliable. We come almost to the end, so but I don't want to miss to inform you about one of our newest products, which are the RF Secure Activators for surface or for flush mounting installation. We are the first company supporting the KNX market with actuators talking RF Secure. Switching activator, dimming activator, shutters and blinds, and heating actuators as well, including the push button actuators talking about RF Secure as well. When it comes to sensors for buildings, for office buildings, for instance, or for factories, however, so presence sensors are meanwhile mandatory. Mandatory to save energy, to give you the reasonable comfort. And so we started a really new kind of technology with this kind of mirror technique. And this mirror technique ends up finally on this Planet Central. Planet Central, meanwhile, 10 years old. The result was finally with this mirror technique you discover here. So it was just 7 meters of height of the frame, which was the visible part of these sensors. At that time, all the other sensors have been bulky, have been big-sized, and depends, not so design-orientated. This one was the very first, super slim, super small, as well with the simple motion detector, tiny and really powerful if it comes to the, you see here, the detection area. So really powerful, and again, 10 years ago. Meanwhile, we have here the followers, the successors, highly interesting and highly design-orientated, glossy colors, looks really neutral, super flat, the sensors here, with a super flat approach and appearance, small but really powerful. Just this small, the Plano, the Tironda flat supports you with 64 square meters of detection at a 4 meter height installation. So it's really, this is the current, let's say, most best sensor, small and powerful, and the successor finally of the Plano Central. Weather stations are required, sure, to give you the reasonable, let's say, automized shading support. This was the one in the former times. This one here now, the Meteodata, high sophisticated, with separate sensors here for each direction around the building. You discover here as well the weather wheels. You discover here as well the temperature, and here on top you find the rain sensor. And by the way, we offer, or we have the support to give you 8 control channels to give you the reasonable shadings. But why? Why 8 channels? Probably you might ask. Just consider that. So you have here modern building, probably, and what you have, what you discover if you count carefully, you have here side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the background is 8. That's the reason why. So we have, if you like, the full protection in terms of the brightness or the shading control, followed by push-button interfaces giving you sequences or temperature inputs. However, our new product range, and here we warmly invite you, next part of our exhibition ground here, give you the insights to the push-button interfaces Eon. Absolutely highly interesting. And you discover here some Bluetooth interface is integrated. You do not need the visualization because visualization you get for free on your mobile. The hybrid sensor, so we come closer now to the end. The hybrid sensor contains both. Highly interesting for the current situation to give you a reasonable good illumination in the room, so constant light control for instance, and integrated the sensor CO2, giving you a good air quality, finally offering you a good airing and, if you like, a good dehumidifying in your buildings around the world, wherever you like to use it. Fan coil actuators, special for hotel purposes. Especially the one I want to highlight is the one with the 0 to 10 volt outputs, so you can control dampers, stepless for instance. You'll find rarely some in the KNX market. We have on stock. And finally, we have here our heating gateway. The heating gateway is finally the combination to control heating on demand, followed by the DALI gateway. And you see, we are going strongly ahead with our power, with our expertises. However, we are all around the world in really prestigious projects like here, like here, like here. Probably you know this tower as well. Probably you spent some holidays in this nice country. We are in here. Or probably just in single-family homes, you find Theben all around the world in different projects. However, and in the future, I'm pretty sure you will discover as well smart metering, smart meter grid support by smart meter gateways, and you will discover here and there, I'm pretty sure, the Connexa 3.0 from Theben as well. So you have really sophisticated orientated, and our colleagues in the development, in the factory, in sales abroad, however, they are highly motivated, supporting you, and our two CEOs, his grand-grandfather founded the company. He is meanwhile CEO in our company. These two gentlemen are happy to welcome you here. Hopefully it was an interesting introduction, short introduction of our product range. Thanks. Bye.